As you've been reading through the book of Acts, you would have been impressed with the fact that the churches that the Apostle Paul and those teams were planting were complete churches. Even when the teams stayed in a community for only a short period of time, sometimes before they were driven out by persecution, the gathering of believers left behind were left as a complete church. That's a very interesting feature of the New Testament, that complete churches could be cultivated so quickly. So now we shift from just talking about groups, which are quite open-ended, but really important, especially those groups that are exploring the Scripture like Discovery Bible Reading groups, and then how a number of these groups might come together to form a church plant, or a church plant might grow out of a Discovery Bible Reading group. We now move to talk about complete churches. Now, different denominations organise themselves in different ways. In the Seventh-day Adventist Church, we have two main categories of church. We have what are called companies, and companies are usually gatherings of believers, usually isolated from other churches and perhaps limited in leadership, gatherings of believers, sometimes seen as a stepping stone to being an organised church, but not necessarily. An organised church is where you have full leadership, voted-in membership, and the church is able to sustain itself with its own teachers, finances, and support. That's the organised church. Now, I would like you as a group to spend 10 minutes exploring the diagram on page 36 of your conversation guide and thinking about the qualities of a church. If this is a good representation of a complete church, so you have a larger dotted circle representing a complete church. And within that complete church, there are a number of smaller Bible reading groups. And then there are also Bible reading groups, Discovery Bible reading groups, like satellites connected, but not inside, connected to that complete church. And then from one of the Bible reading groups in the church, there is a satellite and another church, dotted line representing its openness to mission and its openness to community. And there are also a cluster of Discovery Bible reading groups around that. Now, if this represents a complete church of people who are making disciples, multiplying disciples, making and multiplying groups and church plants and other churches, if this is a representation of a complete church, what does it mean to you as a church planting team? What does it say to you about your vision and your planning? So I'd like you to spend the next 10 minutes just thinking about the qualities and the characteristics of a complete church represented by this diagram on page 36.